Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching Agents of s.h.i.e.l.d. Season 5 Episode 16, Inside Voices. I'm sorry there was no video last week. I was out till really late on the Saturday, came home, recorded it, only to find that I had just messed something up, which hasn't happened to me in ages, and I didn't have my recorded reaction. And as the episode went, I didn't feel like I had enough of a reaction to try and make something work like I did with the 100th episode, because on the whole that episode I wasn't thrilled by. It was really good, like, don't get me wrong, it's always really good, but what I had been needing after the previous episode was a lot more time spent with Fitz, with Daisy, with Gemma, and I feel like that was really rushed at the end. Oh look, here, there's the go. It was fine. The stuff with General Hale and Ruby was interesting. I think it was kind of a bit random, fitting it in with what I previously thought of Hydra, but Hydra did have lots of different elements, so okay, sure. There was a school for Hydra kids. That was really interesting, it was fine. For me, that could have taken up a lot less of the like, it took me 10 minutes of the episode less than it did, and maybe if it had been interspersed between chunks of our characters I would have enjoyed the episode more. I feel like that was done on purpose to make us sort of be on the edge of our seat, how are they, and then they rushed how they were at the end. I'm still in a muddle about Fitz. I mean, I have got so many comments on those videos about trying to explain to me why Fitz did what he did. I know why Fitz did what he did. I understand why Fitz did what he did. It doesn't make what he did okay, and it doesn't make it the right thing. I mean, it was the grey area right thing to do, but it wasn't the right thing to do. It's a really messy situation, but Daisy is everything to me, and so I'm broken for her still, and so I'm going to struggle with what happened particularly. Her headspace is not going to be great right now. I mean, after everything she went through with that, with the weight of she's going to destroy the world on her shoulders, especially now she has her powers back against her will, violently against her will. And now she's been told by May, oh, Coulson's gone, you've got to lead. And Daisy would be an epic leader of s.h.i.e.l.d., but I think the circumstances are taking over. No one's going to be at their best in this circumstance. So I'm worried about her with that. Yes. And one other thing, so Mac was obviously very worried about Yo-Yo because of her whole thinking she's invincible thing, and so when he confided that to Simmons, what he wanted Simmons to do was say, oh, Mac isn't that terrible, I'm going to try and help Yo-Yo see she's not invincible, that the whole point of this is we're trying to change the timeline, and so if we change the timeline you might die. And I mean, change the loop. Breaking the loop with Yo-Yo dying wouldn't necessarily save the world, but yes. Instead, Simmons saw that as nothing Fitz, I mean, Fitz, don't worry about it. It doesn't, we're invincible, it's cool. Which is, to me, what Fitz needed to hear at that point was, you know, what you did, you know, you're not the worst person in the world. There was a reason behind why you did it, but how you did it was very awful and very wrong. And the fact that you don't really feel that bad about it at all is also not good. So she needed to give him more kind of firm in her beliefs to Fitz, rather than just telling him that they were invincible and everything was going to be fine. Fitz also annoyed me with his reaction to finding out that Deke was his grandson. Like, I get that he doesn't particularly like Deke, but I don't know, it's probably meant to be funny, but yeah, I feel like Gemma, I can't speak. Gemma was kind of letting Fitz off the hook a bit too quickly in that episode, but who knows what's going to happen in this one. But on the whole, I did really enjoy the last episode. It just, my overriding feelings from it weren't positive, so I didn't feel like making a video. But that is the beauty of this show, that things happen to the characters and they make you think and you're not always happy about them. But yes, I can't wait to watch the next one. Let's go.
I have to make mine.
Also, is he going to be back? We've been waiting for him. I want them to give Quinn justice too.
Send your daughter into that. This is gonna be a long conversation.
Yeah, this isn't going to go well, is it? Yo-Yo! With her robot arms.
None of you looks like me. I don't know what to tell you, Grandpappy. I guess your daughter found a real man.
Cause Deke, I would just be as annoying as possible to him.
I liked it's my kind of move.
He grew up in a world where it was
Now,
fight or die because of Kree. It's not a compliment.
Be killed. He's kind of a hard ass.
Wonder why that is. Did you have a traumatic experience recently?
I noticed.
Oh, get over yourself, Fizz.
Can I pick your brain for a minute?
It's a weird saying. Just knew you as Nana and Bobo. But you guys, as long as you guys, you know. But
was he like? I have no idea. What's up? What's happening? Fitz is sick. You should be worried about that. Look, you can compile his intel.
I'm with Daisy on this one.
But right now, everyone is leaving.
Fitz is sick,
Simmons.
and then we'll acting like he did nothing wrong. I'm sick already of them all acting like Fitz did nothing wrong. Looks like the day after one of your best friends kidnaps you, ties you to a table and rips out an inhibitor from you without painkillers. You're not going to be in your best mental state to do some bleeding.
I think he's crazy. I believe it's true.
Then you don't believe we could change the future, do you, Gemma? You don't believe that we could stop the world being destroyed if you believe that all of you are invincible because you made it in that timeline. What's the point? Let's just go do nothing.
So we're the Invincible 3, huh?
No, because the whole point of this series is changing the future and stopping what happened from happening, which therefore means nothing that happened might happen, so you could all die.
Whatever it is, it's
The
overwhelming.
world being destroyed, probably her mum dying.
I understand that feeling. Maybe I can find out what's on her mind.
I love Daisy.
They're learning the future
So you
about
believe
this
we can
team,
stop the
about
world being
Coulson,
ripped apart,
about
but you don't believe that you could die in the process.
Maybe you're alive in the future because I did.
He's got a point. I mean, she should be allowed to go on missions, but she's not indestructible.
I'm not sure.
And you can't really tell the mum that. Oh gosh. That's really, really hard with the other mum.
Carl? What the hell are you doing here? Coulson, what the hell's Carl doing?
He can I need you to use your inside voice.
This is my inside voice.
Okay, then your softer inside voice.
Elena, you know I'm...
Is that I can't be killed?
Are you two Simmons?
Then we can't change the future, Simmons. Let's all go home.
No.
Don't look at me, I don't know.
I get why she's saying this, I do understand, but I'll say it again. The whole goal of this season is to change the future, therefore things that we know from the future are not set in stone, Simmons.
What the hell? Gemma.
Yes, I'm with Fitz.
Do it.
If Simmons is this sure of this, then how the hell does she think we could change the future and save the world?
I need you to stop right now.
Well then we can't save the world, can we, guys? You might as well just give up. Shoot her in the
You
leg.
shoot me just to keep me from dying?
No, I'll wound you to stop this madness.
No. I don't think you will.
No, Mac's not Fitz, there's nothing in him.
Simmons, please.
Gemma?
So Fitz is the only one that can save us, I've got to open the door. Is this all a trick?
Open the door. Now, open the door.
Like, they have a valid point with their plan is a good plan. But they've all gone mad. So then we can't save the world, Gemma, so we'll all go home.
We are invincible.
I'm crazy.
So the world's destroyed.
Let me out of here.
What if Fitz is judging you right now, given that he hasn't had any help or treatment for what's he's going through?
I'm sorry.
They could be out in the field,
You're in the way.
and then Fitz will think, oh, the only way, or the easiest way, or the best way to stop this situation would be if I killed Yo-Yo.
Lo siento. Lo siento, lo siento. I'm just getting used to my fingers.
This is again, Yo-Yo shouldn't go yet because her hands aren't. She doesn't know what she's doing with them. How strong she is. Other agents with Simmons should get Fitz's intel and go on this mission.
We are going to try to make sure that this future never happens, okay? And to do that, we have to find...
Philip J. Coulson. He can put all the pieces together.
I'm lost without him.
Daisy too. That's why we need each other so much.
Yeah.
He's gonna die.
No. I mean, I know he's dying, but
You can see that?
at like 90 or something, yes, he'll die then. And that's why May and Daisy will need each other because Coulson's gonna die.
Thank you for saying that, because it's been like a pretzel up here ever since I met up with you time travelers.
Yeah, I was talking about Robin. I'm sorry about your brain.
No.
I love her Hydra outfit.
We don't find company when we get there.
Wait.
I hope the Doctor doesn't take over Fitz again. Sorry, I love Fitz. I love Simmons. I love Yo-Yo. I'm just kind of annoyed at the moment. Oh my god. Is he dead?
I've got no pulse.
Well, do something about this, please.
Oh my god. Do something, son. Do something!
Yes, do something. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I was fairly confident that was going to happen this time, but that was stressful. Coulson.
You know you die more than
So that's what Robin meant when she said he's going to
I
die.
have to think. If you're thinking of blonde jokes, now's not the time.
I got a bunch of...
Go!
I'm scared the mum's going to die.
We think she...
Because we know that she
Right,
didn't make it with the lighthouse and died at some point before.
I guess this is how it's gonna end. Pinned down like Butch and Sundance.
It's like season 1.
We're on Earth, right?
White sandy beaches and the palm trees.
It's not really my thing anymore.
I really want them to catch Quinn right now.
And this is what...
Oh good, it's Quinn gonna be dead this whole time. I never liked how he just got away after season 1. They're arguing, so it's both of them in there. At least I finally know what happened to Quinn now. He shot this guy, and then he got away with it. But now he's been, like, gravitonium swallowed up. And wow, the gravitonium really wouldn't react well to Daisy in that sense. It was nice to see Raina again. She used to be such a fundamental part of this show. Well, another solid S.h.i.e.L.D. episode. Again, I don't know when I edit it how much I'll leave in, but I don't understand. I mean, I understand why Simmons, Yoyo and Fitz are saying and doing what they're doing. I do understand that, but at the same time, Simmons especially truly believes that they're going to change the future. They're going to make sure their daughter gets to grow up in a world where the world didn't get destroyed and where everything is wonderful and there are trees and puppies and things. But she also believes that Deke is proof that she and Fitz don't die. Those two things aren't the same, because the world could... I mean, what if they conceive their daughter in the bunker? Then they survive to be in the bunker. But what if, to save the world, Gemma has to jump in front of a bullet? She's dead now. I mean, obviously I don't want that to happen, and I don't necessarily think that's what's going to happen, but if you truly believe that you're going to be able to save the world, you're not invincible. Whereas Fitz, he doesn't really think they can change the future. He's going for it, but he doesn't really think they're going to be able to stop it. Therefore, him thinking they're invincible, that would make sense, because he doesn't believe the future can be changed, so they survive to have Deke, or to have their daughter and then have Deke. Therefore, they have to survive. Whereas, and Yoyo, I think, is also not really believing they can change it, but wants to give it her best shot. Whereas Simmons seems to truly believe they're going to change the future, so therefore I don't know how on earth she believes she's invincible. And also, I get why Fitz did what he did, and I also don't necessarily think that it needs to mean that he's locked up forever and we throw away the key or anything like that, and I think Daisy's just angry at the moment. I don't think she'd also want that forever. But they're also acting like he did nothing wrong, and like, it was cool, don't worry about it, when it really wasn't, and maybe it was necessary, but there are ways you do things, and there are ways you don't do things if you're the hero, and they've jumped into the grey area quite happily. So I feel like Fitz isn't being held to account, yet everyone's like, oh my god, isn't Daisy being a bitch? Oh, isn't Daisy being bossy? Oh, Daisy. And it's like, well, what did she go through like 2 days ago? And what are you all now saying to her? Can't you let Fitz out? He did nothing wrong. Like, he cried a single tear and said he's not really sorry, but he didn't want to hurt you, but he's still not sorry, he'd do it again. Like, of course Daisy's going to be upset with Fitz, of course Daisy's not going to want to let him out, especially when everyone, including Fitz, keeps acting like he did the right thing, 100% the right thing. Like, black and white, it was right, when it was very grey. So yeah, I don't at all blame Daisy, and I think I'm worried for Robin's mum, simply because with the future, things are going to a point. It's going to follow what happened in the original timeline, and then we're going to save the day and it's going to shift. So I just hope that whenever she died, it was after we're going to shift so she can survive. But I also worry that she might not survive. And now that they're still on the ship with them, they're obviously going to, Daisy, May and Deke and that lot are going to go and pick up Coulson, who is with Talbot being hunted by Ruby, so there's obviously been a clash of those forces at some point, and I'm worried that Robin's mum might be a casualty at some point in that, and then Daisy will blame herself for getting them out of hiding. But getting them out of hiding is what did find the answer for Coulson, and I mean, May was, I think it was the right call. It wasn't an easy call, but it was the right call, and there was no guarantee it would hurt anybody, unlike someone else's actions. Now again, I don't hate Fitz. I don't blame Fitz. I don't, think that Fitz is an irredeemable, awful person. I think he's sick, like Daisy said. And I know she was quite blunt to Gemma, but Gemma was acting like her crazy person, like Fitz is, everything's fine, Fitz is wonderful, we're all fine, when that's not necessarily the case. Again, I think probably Daisy is being slightly too harsh, but given everything she went through, I think she's the only person within the show who can be that harsh towards Fitz. And again, I think with time it would be something that she would get past or be able to forgive him with. But I get why she's acting the way she's acting, and I think people have been quite unreasonable towards her and very, very reasonable towards Fitz. Like, I don't know, I think... Yes, Fitz is a good person still, because what the Doctor did, it saved the world, or it stopped the rift thing, and if they hadn't have done it when he did it, it would have been awful for everyone, and I get that, and I also get that he didn't have a choice, etc. but he's not really that sorry about it. He'd do it again. How he did it was just so horrible that I'm sure there was some other way. Now okay, that was the doctor part of him taking over, but surely the same thing applies that if in the middle of the mission they're on now, there's some situation where the doctor part of Fitz thinks, well, you know what, it'd be far easier if we drove that school bus off the cliff, full of children, off the cliff. He'd do it if he thought that would save the world, whereas the rest of the team, Simmons and Yo-Yo, I'd like to think, would be thinking, oh, why don't we stop this school bus going off the cliff and then we can go and do this other thing over there and we can save the day. Whereas there's obviously danger with Fitz as he is now, when he's had no help, no treatment, no time to try and get past this split. I do think it's a bit more of a liability. And Yo-Yo, again, I love her. I think with her robot arm, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, even more than she was before. But right now, she could go to pat Gemma on the back, well done, good job, and break her spine. Like, she doesn't know her own strength. And so again, I don't think that she is someone that's safe to have on a mission yet. Especially just the three of them. I feel like they could have maybe got an agreement from Daisy even to go on the mission. If Gemma just said, let's use Fitz's information and then we'll take a team of agents and go. Or if they'd helped them get Coulson back and then done it. I mean, this team's a family and they always want to protect each other and find each other, and I don't know why this would be different now. I think they would have worked together, but Gemma saying to Daisy, look, Fitz did a little bit of a bad thing, but we should let him out. Of course she's going to be like, no, he should never come out. And it's up to Coulson to make that decision. Because she's still trying to cope with the trauma of what happened to her, and then have the mantleship of the leadership of S.h.i.e.L.D. thrust upon her when she's in the completely not the mindset for it. So I'm kind of annoyed at the moment with Gemma and Yo-Yo. They want to save the world, they want to save everything, they want to change the future, but they believe their own fates are set in stone. I don't know. It was a good episode. I think for me these last two episodes have been a slump compared to how good it was, but if you compare it to other shows on TV, they'd still be super amazing TV shows. Yes, I can't wait to see where this goes and try and get over this bit where I start to... I'm understanding why characters are acting how they're acting. I mean, to a point. I don't quite get Gemma's fixation, but yeah, I understand to a point. I'm looking forward to when it's back to me fully understanding what my characters are doing and agreeing with it. But yes, that was a very good episode. Oh, one last thing, they are going to tease us with Coulson's death endlessly. I mean, I wasn't too worried in this episode with the way it happened, but yes, he can't die. But yes, so yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry I'm not more positive about this episode, but my reactions are my reactions. I'm trying to be genuine, and before I get lots of comments about it, I do understand why they're doing what they're doing. I just don't agree with some of it, and I think some of it's misguided. But yes, thank you for watching.